Hello, everyone. This is LEANORA Moore, author of Drafted for Love, and I'm on Jerry-Royce Live.
Hello, and thank you for stopping by. I'm your host, Jerry-Royce, and welcome to Positive Power 21 Network, where you get your positive on. This is a worldwide podcast for growth, wealth, and success. Thank you.
Positive Power 21.org, Internet Radio.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and welcome to Jerry-Royce Live on Positive Power 21.org. I am the voice of Jerry-Royce, and when it's all positive, it's all power. That's Positive Power 21. And today's sponsors are REI Heritage Tours, Cambridge, Maryland. Harriet Tubman, that's right, the Underground Railroad, 1-800-522-TOUR to book your scenic driving tour and more, and see more than 30 sites related to the Freedom Seeker in the 1800s. For more information, again, call 1-800-522-TOUR. And also don't forget about the conference that's on June 13th through 14th, celebrating 150 years after her death. Keynote speaker is from Emmanuel College in Boston, Massachusetts. He's an assistant professor of history. We still have CDs on Amazon.com, or go out to PositivePower21.org if you want a fast click and click on Lori Williams' songs, her album called Eclipse of the Soul. And she's a jazz vocalist out of the Washington, D.C. area. She's been doing a lot of backup singing for a lot of the professionals out there. So check out. She has a beautiful, beautiful voice. And also her chorus, her students have been winning numerous awards in the Washington, D.C. area. So we want to give kudos to Lori Williams, who's doing a fantastic job, not just as a vocalist, but also as a teacher and that's our Maryland school systems. All right, cool. Also, don't forget about Agnes Akutin. She's having a business expo called Success Revolution Conference 2014 in Columbia, Maryland. So those of you that's in the Delmarva area, it's a very short drive to Columbia. Check out Success Revolution Conference 2014. Google that. The website will come up. It's only $5 for registration. And if there's any booths available, give her a call and find out if you can set up your business. I think it was like $125 for booth space. All right. Okay. Now, we're not going to do our gold sponsors tonight. I hope they forgive me. But I have a very exciting guest on. I like her spirit, and we're going to get a chance to chit-chat with her. Her name is LEANORA Moore. About me. We're on her website now. Check out LEANORAMoore.net, and it says, at the age of 36, I have a loving and supportive husband who has been by my side for 15 years, and I have 5 wonderful teenagers. Oh, they better be wonderful. It's 5 of them. And as a little girl, I always had a notebook where I could write my dreams and fantasies down. Growing into adulthood, I would read other authors' work and say to myself that I want to do the same thing. Wow. At the age of 31, I decided to write my first novel titled The Caress of a Younger Man. Is that right? Caress of a Younger Man. Okay. Since then, I have, that's right. Okay, good. Since then, I have followed my Heavenly Kingdom and started the Voluptuous, Curvy, and Loving It series, which focus on plus-size women and the men that love them. I started this series because I wanted to create a movement for plus-size women in the world so that they know that they are beautiful and intelligent, and they also deserve a happy ending. In the Voluptuous, Curvy, and Loving It series, the books are titled Smooth as Silk, Finding Love Within, and His Forgotten Lover. They will soon be followed by the Drafted for Love that will be released April 2014, so it's out now. And throughout her whole process of becoming a published author, I have learned that to write a great novel, you have to be willing to learn and apply the information. I thank all the authors that offer me advice and knowledge. All right. Welcome to the show, LEANORA Moore, and how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, and I'm so glad to have you on. Wow, you're doing it up. All right, now we just read your bio. I know that's not everything about you, so go ahead and tell the audience a little bit more about LEANORA Moore.
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I'm a wife and mother. I mean, that's that's the greatest thing in my life. You know, my family is everything to me. My second love is writing. My third love is reading. I've always loved reading books. I mean, I got to the point where I was reading 3 and 4 romance novels a day. That's how much I was loving it. And, you know, as I got older, my health, you know, got kind of bad on me for a minute. And writing and reading kept me from thinking about, you know, the health issues I had going on. Because I was diagnosed with lupus and having chronic asthma. And writing became my outlet, you know, and I'm just glad that, you know, God laid it on my heart to, you know, to find something to keep me positive, you know, to keep my faith strong.
That's right. That's right. Amen. Amen. So so now you're an avid reader, so that got you started. So what made you think you could do it? I mean, do you have any writing experience? Is it just come natural for you, or you one of those people you're a good storyteller, but you need a little help with a ghostwriter?
No, I mean, I've always been into writing, you know, since I was little. I was always with a notebook, even when the other kids were outside playing. I'm sitting in the corner with a book or, you know, a notebook writing something. My first book was actually something I had wrote a long time ago, but had just put to the side. Mm-hmm. And, you know, after reading so much till, you know, I was like, you know, I can do this. You know, it's only, you know, I can just try. You know, if I fail or well, you know, at least I know in my heart I tried. And that's what my first novel, The Caress of a Younger Man, was, my trial and error, you know, to see if I could do this. Yeah.
So how did it do? I mean, you're selling that bad boy for $22.50. Must be a hot book.
To me, you know, when I first released that book, I went through a publisher, and the publisher set it at that price.
Okay.
So you know, when you go through a publishing house, you know, that's their price, and that's what you got to go with.
That's right. That's a good book too.
Yeah. I mean, when I first released it, I had a lot of people loving it because it, you know, it's not like all the other stories. You know, it has some twists here and some turns there that you don't normally see in romance novels. So it created a craze, especially with it being plus-size women and everything.
Yeah. Wow. So you have your own audience out there. Okay. Now, let's see. Which direction we're going to go. Okay. Now, see, you have Drafted for Love out there, and so far somebody's loving it. You have 3 reviews on it. It's like almost 5 stars. But I was looking at Smooth as Silk. You had a lot of people that was writing in on that book. So we're going to talk about your reviews in a minute. All right.
Okay.
Now, now you got ill a little bit. You kind of bedridden, I suppose, and I guess you asked your husband, friends, bring you some books by, help, you know, pass time. And after a while, you get tired of TV. There's so much TV you can put up with. After a while, they all sound the same, right?
Yeah.
So now
they do.
So now you wanna read, okay? What's really getting into you right now? What are you interested in when you're laying on your back and you're not really being physical? I mean, is a romance book the first thing you want to pick up, or something that's going to challenge your mind? What's going on with you at the time?
Well, I mean, if you look at romance novels, it does challenge you. Because when you think of a romance novel, you think of, you know, it's a guy and a girl, they're going to see each other, they instantly fall in love, yada, yada, they get married, they have babies, and that's it. But when you look at romance novels today, they got a lot of turns in it. You know, they don't instantly just say, okay, we're going to fall in love and that's going to be it. I mean, you have challenges. You know, it's going to be other people influencing the relationship. You know, they're going to have their own inner conflicts. So when you're reading romance, you got a lot of stuff that, you know, keeps you focused. So, you know, and I've always loved romance novels. I mean, Brenda Jackson is my favorite. Carmen Green. You know, I have a list of authors that have inspired me on this journey. I recently met Nikki Walker, and, I mean, she has blown my mind away with her stories. So romance novels, it kept me on the the right path.
So whose style do you come close? I mean, I'm sure you probably have your own writing style, but which one you marvel the most of the three authors you just mentioned?
If I had to say, it would have to be Zane.
Wow.
When it comes to her novels, they drive so much passion and they hold your attention, and I mean, you can really feel what her characters are feeling. And when my readers read my books, I want them to have that same experience. That's
right. Now, your characters, are you just doing primarily African Americans, or different races, diverse?
Right now, it's primarily African American.
Okay. All right. So you're keeping it hot.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, down the line, I might try interracial. Never know what the future holds.
That's right. 'Cause people fall in love with people now. They're not just looking at. It's the families and the friends that have the problem. It's not
exactly.
Love don't see no color, size or shape, whatever. All right.
Exactly.
All right. So we know where you got your inspiration from. So what are your fans saying about your writing? Have you met your fans yet?
Matter of fact, I've met a few of them. A lot of them have reached out to me on Facebook. At my book signings, I have a lot of fans come out. I mean, it's unreal the way that my books have touched a lot of people, and that's the reason why I do what I do. Lately, I had a young lady contact me on Facebook, and she just was like, that the book had really touched her heart, and it made her see that she didn't have to settle. She was beautiful, and whoever she fell in love with should see that she's beautiful also.
That's right.
And that made me, it touched my heart so bad that I came to tears, because this girl, she wasn't no more than 16 years old.
Wow. So she was having challenges with her weight?
Yeah. She, she said that she had always been overweight. Family life wasn't going great, and she just needed something to uplift her spirits, something to give her a sign, that it wasn't always going to be difficult. And when she seen my book, she was like, she just picked it up, didn't know really what it was about. She just knew it was a romance novel. And after reading it and really relating to the ladies in the book, she was like, she thought about her life and where she wanted it to go. And she's just deciding now that her life is worth living. She's ready to do something with her life. And like I told her, I'm always here. And that's the thing with me when my fans contact me. Like I tell them, I'm always on Facebook. You send me a message, I'm going to reply. That's just how I am. And that was another thing they loved about me, because if someone sends me a message, I'm always there.
That's right. Now I was going to ask you, now that you have that personal touch with your fans, they're going to tell more people about you. They're not just going through the same thing, but just looking for a relationship with a product. Because that's basically what it is. You're giving them a relationship. You're engaging them. Now, the internet has really changed a lot of things about the publisher. I've been in it for a really long time. I go all the way back to 87. Publishing. I actually was working for a publisher, and I remember how difficult it was for someone to, the challenges to get published. And now people, self-publishing has made it so easy for, writers to be able to go in the direction they want to go in with their writing. They don't have to let someone say yes or wait for that no to come finally, weeks. So anyway, to make a long story short, where I'm trying to go, now that the internet is, they're just not limited to an email and waiting for you to respond one day. They know that Facebook is pretty much in real time, pretty much. Now, so now would you be able to engage almost all of your audience? I know if you're selling a lot of books, that means you have a lot of fans. Do you think all of them need to have that relationship? Because, I mean, who you think reading the books the most? The ones that are already like super duper in love, or the ones that's chasing love and waiting for it to land on their doorstep? Who are these people?
Well, I mean, it's a little bit of both. Everybody needs that escape, whether you're in love, or looking for love. That's what the books are there for, to just give you that 5 minutes of just something different.
Heat you up.
Yeah. So when it comes to me and relating with my readers and fans, I try my best to, have that one-on-one. As my readership builds, I still want to have that relationship. There's so many avenues they can get in contact with me, whether it be on Twitter, whether it be on Facebook, my Pinterest, even my website. I check all of them daily, sometimes 3 and 4 times a day. Now, other authors, they may not have the time to do that. So, everybody is different and have their own way of doing things.
That's right. And I see you have a blog on your page also. I like your picture. That is gorgeous. All right.
Thank you.
Now, is Mr. Moore, is he being challenged now? He's married to someone who's opened up her heart to the world. You got some guys that go crazy over the curvy women. Now, especially when they have a beautiful smile. They carry themselves really well. They can dress. Because you see some women, that's curvy that really dress nice. I've seen some on my job. Their hair is looking great. They don't overdo it. They just carry it. They carry that joy, and that's attractiveness. They're going to attract some guys now. So how's Mr. Moore holding up with all of this?
Actually, he's my biggest supporter in it all. I'm not perfect. I have my ups and down days where I'm just like, what, I'm done with it. I can't do it. The stress gets so out there, but he reins me back in.
Yeah.
My husband, we've been married for 15 years. Just like any relationship, it does have its ups and downs. We're not perfect either. But he gives me that shoulder that I need. He keeps it real with me. He's not one to sugarcoat anything, and that's what I love about it. He's always been real with me. And, long as we stay on that path and we got God above blessing us, we're good.
That's right. Now, there's a lot of challenges going on for him. One, you gotta find time to write, and at the same time, you're dealing with your illness, so it's some challenges there for him. But he's all the way there. He's okay.
Yeah,
right?
He's doing good. And plus he's working full time. So between him working, my illness, our kids, it's a lot. And it takes a strong person to support all that weight. And, that's the reason why I said I'm so blessed, because any other man, any lesser man would have left, would have said, I can't handle this, I'm gone. But he has stuck it out. He's been there. He's got my backbone. He spends times with the kids. He's in everything. He makes sure everything is running smoothly in his house.
That's right. It's all on him now. Right.
Yes.
Good. All right. God bless him. All right. Let's get a little bit into some of your characters. We're on the top of the hour. Tell us about your main character and why you decided to write it that way. Write this person the way they are.
Now, in Drafted for Love, Gabrielle Wright is the heroine in that one. She's had everybody, when they first start reading the book, they think she's had a sheltered life because she came from money. Her parents were actors. Even when they passed away, they left her a ton of money. But money does not solve everything. And as you read the book, you see, she's really just a down-to-earth person, but she's had a lonely life.
Oh.
Yeah, and I wanted that to come through. I wanted everybody to notice, just because you got money doesn't mean everything is bright sun and cheers.
Okay.
And as she got older, she became about her money and her business.
Mm-hmm.
And being a sports agent, that was her dream, and that's what she done.
Okay, so she has a profession. Okay.
Yes.
Now she's voluptuous, curvy woman. Describe her to us. Describe
Gabrielle, she's 5'7". She has long dreads, bright smile. She's curvy. She's loving it. Mm-hmm. She has a vibrant attitude. Everything is positive. She's got issues when it comes to men. I'm not gonna lie about that. But she does have that one issue and that one flaw. She's kissed a lot of frogs, put it that way. But she knows she has to wait for that special person to come.
Wow. Patience. The Gabrielle. Now she's in a sports world, so she meet a lot of men.
Exactly.
She represents them. She's trying to gain clients. She's meeting people with money, but she already have it, so she's not attracted to the money because she already has money.
Exactly.
But the guys, now, is she meeting guys that's just not attracted to her type? What is she going through? Is that happening to her in the story?
Now, with Gabrielle, like you said, she meets guys every day. Young, athletic, every woman's dream. But, like I said, everything that glitters ain't gold. A lot of them are intimidated by her confidence, by her authoritative attitude. She's the type that she ain't going to take no jump. And a lot of guys are intimidated by that. Some of them feel they have to go too far with the showing off to compete with her standards. It's a lot of things. And she's also picky. I'm not going to lie about that. She does have some pickiness when it comes to men she dates. And that adds to a little bit of the trouble she runs into because of the pickiness. And, she, just like women these days, we want our things the way we want it. And you know how that goes with women, and I'm one of them, so I can say, we have our ways too.
Gabrielle, now does she have a little entourage? Group of girls is a little different than her. Maybe a smaller size girl. Does she have a girlfriend she's jealous of or envy? Where is she, a leader, a follower? Tell us a little bit more about in that area.
Now, Gabrielle, she's a straight leader. Okay. She does have a group of friends that you have met if you read the 3 previous volumes of the series. They all met in college. Okay. And, they've formed like a circle or, a sisterhood. Mm-hmm. And they keep it real 100 with each other. And when they're having issues, they have what you call a sister girl conference call. Okay. If one of them is going in some drama, they're gonna pull out all the stops to get in contact with each other and gonna have a conference call.
That's right, huddle time. All right. All right. So you have now these girls, they're following along, and now you have several books. Now they're in all your books?
Yes. No, just the 4 in the series. They're all connected in a way. Now, it's not to the point where you have to read one and the other to pick up, but it helps to read all the previous ones because when you meet the characters in book 4, you'll already be familiar with them and, their characteristics and everything. So it helps.
Gotcha. All right. Now, I remember I was on Facebook, and I saw the cover. I'm a football fan. I see drafted. I'm thinking football now. Then something say drafted for love. You got this guy, he just got his shoulder pads on. He looked like he's about to start some trouble. And then underneath that, you title the book, have your name. Now, when people look at this book cover, branding something here. We know something curvy is going on. Voluptuous is kind of associated with, with a little heavy, little girls with a little more meat on them. And they see this is volume 4. will it suck in new fans? Yeah, what you think? How's it work? How did it work for you? This part of your marketing.
I'm gonna be honest with you. With this book here, the reach that it has, done, as far as fan-wise and reader-wise, I have been shocked. I have been doing this since 2009, and each book gets better and better. And this book here has just surpassed everything the previous books have done.
Get out of here.
I
said, get out of here. Because, I remember when I saw the cover, I said, let me check it out. Let me see what this author's about. What's going on with this book? Let's see if we can get it on the show. So I think your marketing brand did well in this area here, and then bring that together with your good writing, and we're gonna check that out in a minute. Now, are you prepared to read anything from your book?
Let me see. I did not know I had to. I didn't bring anything with me.
Oh, you didn't bring anything with you?
Yeah, I didn't bring anything with me. But I can tell you a little bit more about it if you'd like.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us a little bit more about Drafted for Love. No, I'll tell you what. Since you just released that book, you want people to buy it. You don't want to give away too much. Let's talk about His Forgotten Lover a little.
Okay.
If you don't mind. Tell us a little bit.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, tell us about that. Because I'm going to look that. Matter of fact, I think that's the one I wanted to pull up on Amazon. No. I'm my bad. I wanted to pull up. It was one you had. Yes, Smooth as Silk. That's the one I want to talk about because you have 22 reviews on this book.
Now, Smooth as Silk, I have to say by far was a learning experience. With that book, I'm going to be honest with you, I let my characters in my head just take that book and run with it.
Really?
Yeah, the characters in that book pretty much wrote that story. I'm going to be honest with you. And it turned out better than if I, as a writer, just tried to write it on my own. I know it's kind of weird to hear it that way, but as a writer, I just let my characters just take it over. Because if I tried to write it, it would just be dull and, so I kind of turned it over the reins to the character that I'm in at that moment, and I just let them fly with it. What they say, how they act, what they see, what they feel. That's the mindset I be in when I write. And Smooth as Silk was the funnest book that I wrote because the characters were so lively. They were just telling it like it was. They didn't care how you feel. They did some crazy stuff along the way, but, that added flavor to the book.
All right, good. Now, you did have one person that liked the book, and I guess they just was a little nitpicky, I guess. But let's read about the ones that really liked your book. They hit the 5 stars. They didn't say a whole lot, but I guess they just put the meat in it. All right, the first one says, I love this book. The book shows that plus-size females can find love out there almost every day, looking like the everyday model types. Okay. And then another one say, I enjoy Smooth as Silk, different spin on the twins, relationship, family. Miss Moore have to update us after the surprise. Was it a surprise? Must be a surprise on that. Okay. Next one say, wow, when I first started this book, I didn't know if I would like it or not. I ended up falling in love with the book Perfect Love Story. Okay, so it was a lot of people falling in love in this book?
Yes. Yes, because it's about Angela and Gary. Angela has had a hard life. Her parents were killed. She was separated from the only sibling she had, which was her brother. And growing up in foster care, that's kind of hard, especially for a little girl to go through by herself. And her life was hard, but she made it through. And that's what I wanted to come through, Even though things look bad, it doesn't mean you have to stay there. You have to fight to get out of it, and she definitely, fought her way out. And as she got older, music was her way of expressing herself. And that was the biggest thing I wanted to show, you know. There's always an outlet when things look bad. You just have to find it.
That's right. That is true. That is true. Now, you said there was a learning experience with this book. What did you learn?
That you got to have a lot of patience. When you're writing, you know, any type of book, you know, you can't just write it, throw it out there, and expect somebody to love it. You have to nurture that book. You have to put your all in that book. And it you know, it really touched my heart with that story, because I think at the time when I was writing it, there was a lot of stuff on the news about kids in foster care and, you know, all the negative stuff as far as them being hurt and stuff like that. And it just touched my heart. And I was like, well, let me see if I, you know, it's a lot of people out there going through that, and maybe this will help somebody. You know, the message will, you know, hit somebody's heart. And I just went with it.
All right. Now, you think this is like a niche market? You know, you're writing about one particular group of women, you know, voluptuous, lovely, curvy women. You know, you think this will attract an audience of women who probably lacking self-esteem or just missing that important love? You know, so does this help them not give up on love?
And when I first started that series, that's what I thought was going to happen, you know, that it was just going to be for a particular type of woman. I wasn't sure how it was going to be received. But since the series has started, I've had women, whether they're small, you know, big, in between. I've had a lot of women reach out to me from all different sizes, and they've all said the same thing, that the book touched them in a way that, you know, it changed their views on a lot of things as far as women, you know, as far as their relationships, their self-value, you know, the way they see themselves as women.
Absolutely. And everyone is saying it was a great story between Angela and Gary. So were they friends? What was the relationship with Gary and Angela?
Well, actually, they had met in a restaurant, to be honest with you. They had a chance bump in, you know, in a restaurant, and it was just something they saw in each other that they just could not forget. And fate had it to where Angela was singing in a nightclub, and Gary and his family had came there to see this new amazing singer they had heard about. And just so happens, Angela was the mystery woman he met in the restaurant.
Ah, wow. So that's why they're saying great story. They like how it all came together. Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of twists and turns in this book that, you know, that you don't see coming at you until it's right there in your face, and you're like, wow, I didn't see that. And that's what a lot of readers are telling me. They was like, it held me to the end.
That's right. Now, are fans forgiving? Because now you have a couple fans on here say, yeah, they thought it should have been a little bit more attention to the editing, you know, some of the grammar. They thought, but they loved the story. So they gave you a chance in Smooth as Silk, and they came back again to see if you made the improvements on the next book because they knew you were a great storyteller.
Yes, I've matter of fact, that when that book came out, you know, I was learning, you know, the whole process of writing and editing and everything, and I had in my mind that I could do everything. I was a superwoman. And when I released it and seen some of the reviews, I was like, you know, hold up, let me change the way I go about this. Let me bring somebody else in and let them handle, you know, certain things. And it, like I said, it's a learning process when you're starting out. You think you know everything, but in the end, you know, you got to accept offers of help too.
That's right. Now, was this book self-published?
Yes, it was.
Okay. So what happened after that? So this book came in like around 2013. It was kind of early in your career?
Yes. Well, I had released my first book in 2009. I took a little break because of my health, and then I got back into it with Heavenly Kingdom. Took another break because of my health and started Smooth as Silk. And since then, I've been trying to release books as frequent as possible, but still keep the quality the same. I want to keep, my readers engaged. I don't want them to feel like they were cheated.
Oh, that's right.
But still keep it coming out constant.
That's right. Now, are you published under somebody now, or are you still under your own brand?
I'm still publishing everything. I like it that way. I love the freedom that way. I'm not to say that, later down the line I might join a publisher, but right now I just like the freedom that it gives me.
That's right. So you don't have no deadlines, just set them yourself. And,
exactly.
And of course, like you said, you're concerned about your health right now, so that's the main thing, is taking care of you first. Now, let's get back to that a little bit. Now, I remember, I can't remember who this person was, but they were pretty much embracing, women being curvy and, like you put it, voluptuous and enjoy yourself, be yourself, love yourself first. And then someone came along and say, well, why are you embracing this and validating it? These girls are unhealthy. You should be encouraging them to seek some help and blah, 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 this and that. What happens, what are they saying? What kind of information on both? If you play, we talk about being devil's advocate, being on both sides. Now, do you think your declining of your health had anything to do with your weight, or that was just something that was?
I'll be truthful. As far as that, my health issues does have a lot to do with my weight. But you can't let that keep you down.
Right.
God gave you that body no matter, what happened. So you got to cherish what he gave you.
That's right.
Just because you're overweight doesn't mean you have to sit around and be depressed and, that leads to other things like eating just because you're emotional. You can't do that. I mean,
that's right.
People have been overweight for a long time. And, it's always been branded as a bad thing. But it's how you live with it is, the difference. It's how you live the life. It's what's the difference. You can be plus size and still be happy. You don't have to be all sad about it. And that's what I want to come across. Just because you're plus size, you're still beautiful. You can still live a happy life. Now, I'm not glorifying that, all women should be plus size. Just like you can't glorify that all women should be small. Because it's just not going to happen. It's not practical.
That's right.
But you got to be happy in your own shell, in your own life.
That's right. Now, what I'm embracing from you, and you taking this task on, as far as like if you look at the positive of it, you're writing stories. It's almost like you're saying, don't stop living because you're considered to be overweight. You can still have control of your size and be curvy as you come down. Embrace yourself. Because once they get the encouragement, then you get their energy, then you start wanting to do more stuff for yourself because you're starting to love yourself. So I can see your books embracing them so they can accept what's happening right now. So say, hey, look, don't do nothing and make it worse, because that's what happens when you get depressed. Like you said, it's emotional. They just going to make the situation worse. And some people have used eating till they got to their death. Because I know people have passed because of their eating disorder. They just say, forget it. I'm not going to be able to lose this. I'm just going to enjoy my steaks, my milkshakes, my ice cream. And, not everybody was destined to live to be 100. Or it'd be a whole bunch of people walking around at 100 and something years old. It's not. So I understand what you're saying. I understand exactly what you're saying. Like,
and
I have
just
a friend.
Like you said, oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I have a friend who's she's interested in becoming an agent for the FBI. But right now she's not at the physical size to be able to handle that rigorous training. So she knows now she has to start bringing. She's light on her feet, but she wouldn't be able to handle that training. So she knows now it's time for her to train on her own at her pace to get her size down and work up her endurance. So she's looking to hire one of my friends that's a personal trainer, And because she already has the good eating habits, but then she got the times probably when, hey, it's me time now, So she understands the task, but I'm finding out with anybody, even myself, I need to lose a good 5 or 10. It's like you start out great, you get the weight down. Next thing you know, you kind of forget about it. You kind of didn't stay with it long enough to become a routine. Like for me, I have to work out in the morning because I don't really have the energy to do it after I'm finished doing the show, dealing with the kids, coming from work. I'm thinking about a nap and a meal. That's what you think about.
Exactly.
That's what my body's programmed. And then just like now, when I finish this, I'm probably going to talk to my wife a little bit. I'm not going to go lift no weights. I'm not going to get on the bike. I'm probably going to prepare for bed or after a snack. So it's like you have to discipline yourself, like get up extra 15 or 20 minutes early. Like before, I really had done well when I used to just put on my sweat clothes, brush my teeth, and just go for a walk. A quick 20-minute walk in the neighborhood, come home, and the weight was just falling off. Now I found out that, okay, I'm not going to get up extra 20 minutes because I like to sleep because I'm not getting enough of it, right? So what I do, I park a little further away from the office now. So I do that.
There's a flip side to it, though, because, like me, I'll use myself as an example. I'm plus size, but I don't eat a lot. I don't eat sweets. I don't drink sodas. I don't do any of that. But the medication is what puts my weight on.
Right, I heard of that. Right.
Yeah, I'm on steroids, prednisone. The key one. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, steroids will put it on you, no doubt.
And I take 50 milligrams of that, and I'm on it every day. That right there alone puts on the weight. So when you see a plus-size person, I want people to understand, you can't necessarily say, oh, they just eat a lot, that's the reason why they're doing it, it's their fault. When it could be something else. And that was my main concern. A lot of people put stereotypes on plus-size people, just like, anything else. And that was something I wanted to change. After going through it myself, I know how it is.
I think my sister was in a situation, too, because she was having some problem with her. I think she had a bronchospasm, and they said the only way to really control it was for steroid, and she really didn't want to do it. She said she was willing to do anything else but that.
Exactly.
Yeah, so, she kind of worked her way out of that problem because I think the inhaler and doing some stuff at night has been kind of helping her. But with the allergies, the pollen count the way they have been, it's like almost like she has to go outside probably with a mask on, keep the windows down. So there's other things you have to do if you want to prevent yourself from being on steroids. Now, in your case, you had to come on the steroids after you was going through some problem with whatever the illness you had at the time. So in other words,
they first put me on steroids when I was diagnosed with asthma back in 2011. I had never had breathing issues ever. And the place I was working at, they didn't have the air circulating right, and it just triggered it. And the next thing I knew, I was in the hospital. And I can let you know that I'd say for a whole year and a half, I stayed in the hospital more than I did home.
Whoa.
Yeah,
so
it got real bad. I ended up having to leave my job. Yeah. And
but it didn't get better.
I've gotten a lot better. It has its good and bad days. Anybody that knows about lupus and asthma, you have those days, and then you have some good days. And I just take it each day at a time. And on my down days, I just rest and listen to my body. Good days, I take advantage of it.
That's right. And I remember having a coworker that had lupus. She was in her 60s. She said she didn't really start developing the illness until she got in her 50s. So it was a pretty struggle because you're getting older, you're not getting any stronger. But I don't remember. I don't remember her. She was kind of small built person. So she was a little heavier, she said, than what she normally was.
Okay.
Because of the medication. But and she was a small eater too. So I guess, she had some control over her illness. Yeah. But like she used to say the same thing. Her good days, she's gonna enjoy those days.
Exactly.
Bad days, you may not see her for a while because it's gonna be that bad. So, wow.
Yeah.
So, well, praise God. You're able to do what you're doing and help others who are in another area of dealing with issues, and it may not be medicine related. Could be they just indulge because of some other mental issues going on. So it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot easier now on me, now that I have an assistant. She makes everything so much easier for me. I thank God for, and she's been a blessing. Her name is Ebony McMillan, and she has been a godsend. She's helped with my promotions. She's helped all the way around as far as everything with my books, everything. So, it helps when you, and it makes it so much easier for an author because you're trying to focus on writing, and then you also have to worry about the promotion end of it. And it's kind of hard to focus on both. Once you get to a certain point in your career, you're like, something's got to give because you want to keep producing these quality, good books. But you also got to give 100% to producing it. You got to reach the readers. So with her volunteering to help me, and she was just a fan from the beginning.
Wow.
And then, she was like, okay, well, I can help you do this. And I'm like, oh, thank God. I was just like, oh, thank God, thank you. And then, as it progressed, she was like, well, let me do this so that way you can focus on, your health and writing books. Let me, if I need you, I'll call you. But other than that, let me deal with it. And I'm like, okay.
That's right. God sent you an angel. He sent you an angel. All right.
Yes.
All right, LEANORA. Well, we come to the end of the show. Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans or any aspiring writers that's listening to the show and feeling your energy?
I would just, if I could say anything, it would be to just keep pushing. Never give up. Each day gets better. For an aspiring writer, just, take that leap of faith. If you're thinking of writing a book, go ahead and do it, whether you publish it or not, because, accomplishing that dream alone will make you feel so much better about yourself. And just thank you so much for your support.
Amen. So that's LEANORA Moore. She's the author of her recent released book, Drafted for Love, Voluptuous, Curvy, and Loving Series Volume 4. She got Smooth as Silk out there and His Forgotten Lover. So check them all out. She's on Amazon.com and Kindle versions available and paperback. I know Smooth as Silk is stating that it is a paperback book. I'm not sure about the other ones, but
yes, all of them are paperback.
Oh, great! That is great. All right, we really appreciate having you on the show, LEANORA. We wish you the best of luck out there and the best of your health also, and we keep you in prayer. All right?
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. And ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to come out to positivepower21.org and click the menu. You can visit all the shows we have done. They're all available for replay. Also, you can go out to Spreaker.com, Positive Power 21, and sign up and have each show delivered to you as we upload them. What a convenience. And we appreciate your support, everybody. I'm jerry-royce live at positivepower21.org. Take care, everybody. And that's a wrap. All right. Thank you, LEANORA. Thank you for tuning in to the Positive Power 21 Network. Team 21 would like to thank you all for tuning in, and please spread the word and tell a friend. This is jerry-royce at Positive Power 21, where we get our positive on.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome.
Power
Good luck out there. God bless you.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.